Imagine finding the house of your dreams and the place you always wanted to live for a budget that doesn't break the bank. Sound impossible? What if you could truck the house you want to the section of your choice and maybe save money along the way?
Oh, that's my lounge. Love it.
You got your ass on the seat, we're rolling.
It's a journey that can be fraught with anxiety.
What's that?
Pressure. There's only inches in it, the
Oh my gosh.
and stress.
Yeah, I got some very unhappy people up here.
Is all the trucking, trauma and tension really worth it? This time on Moving Houses, Marley and David are demolishing the Kiwi family batch for a brand new home. But they're locked down on the other side of the world.
I can't control everything. It is a different situation.
So they're relying on family to see this project through.
I didn't think this was going to feel so bad.
The house is facing a wild journey, the open road, then onto the ocean highway.
Last one's on there.
It's like watching a horror movie.
So what could possibly go wrong?
Maybe I should take my blood pressure.
So come along for the ride. This is Moving Houses. Now, most of the houses on this series have had a previous life, but it doesn't always have to be that way. You can buy a house off the plans, have it built, and then have it trucked pretty much anywhere in the country. Their houses are not so much recycled as they are relocated. And Marley, well, she's fallen in love with a house right here in Cambridge. This yard is dedicated to building brand new relocatable homes. Marley's isn't even built yet. But this style of show home is what inspired her to commit to the kind of house that can be put on the back of a truck. Right now, Marley and husband David are living through a COVID surge in Calgary, Canada. Today, well, they're giving me a video glimpse into their life in lockdown. It looks much like ours. Loads of home-cooked meals, indoor exercise,
I've done way more yoga than I would have done.
and too much screen time. But newly retired, Kiwi Marley's feeling the pull of home.
I have so many memories of growing up in New Zealand, and I just love the country.
They've travelled between Canada and New Zealand since they met as young doctors almost 30 years ago. And there's one particular part of New Zealand Marley misses the most: Waiheke Island, where they bought a property 16 years back.
It's sort of the best of both worlds. You have access to the biggest city in New Zealand, but can live in a village on the beach.
Where else in the world can you, in that small a patch of land, have a total of 30 vineyards? Waiheke is quite an extraordinary place.
Now, in spite of being in lockdown in Calgary, on the other side of the world, they're getting a new home built.
It is a little bit of a worry to be managing a project of this size from so far away. It will be built in Cambridge and then it will need to come up to Auckland on a moving truck, then be shipped by barge or boat across from Auckland to Waiheke Island.
With the build only 4 weeks in, and Marley and David 12,000 kilometres away, I've offered to help keep an eye on the progress of their home. I'm here at Elevate Homes, so husband and wife team, Kristen and Lee, can talk me through the design plans. And this is our work in progress.
This is it.
This is it. Marley and David's house.
Chrissy, talk me through, what am I looking at right now?
Right, well, it's a two-bedroom home. It's sort of your main living area in the middle of the building and the bedrooms at either end.
Here we are in Cambridge, and yet the final product is going to end up nowhere near here.
People find it amazing when they come to site and see the size of the building, and they're amazed that they can go on one load. I mean, a big part of our job is discussing and consulting with the transport guys.
So are there any limitations with where this house is going?
Waiheke's very tricky, really windy, trees that can't be removed, certain limitations, yeah. Our job is the build and the quality of the build. For instance, it was really beautiful views, Waiheke Island facing out to the water we needed to face there. So we wanted some nice big glass panels looking out to it. They've also got some outdoor living out the back. So Marley and David talked about adding another big slider to open out to the expanse they have out there. Just changed to suit how the clients want to live and, you know, where the views are, where the sun is.
At 114 square metres, with the bedrooms at each end, I'm intrigued to know how they've customised the space inside. Here it is, all starting to make sense, right? So master bedroom down here, and they've split the house up a bit, haven't they?
The central core is really important and quite a nice spacious area. The kitchen opens onto the lounge, and off either end is the master bedroom and the guest bedrooms, and then ensuite directly behind the master bedroom, also on the guest bedroom. And we have a separate laundry here and a scullery, so that's really nice to have.
Chrissy, this is actually quite far removed from the first plans that were given to Marley.
They are. It starts as our standard plan, which is actually a 3-bedroom. Marley was quite keen, she didn't need that 3rd bedroom, really.
What's a good way to stop too many guests coming to visit you?
You're right, you get rid of that 3rd bedroom.
We're a funny lot, us humans, aren't we?
Yeah.
We want people around us, but not too around us.
Yeah. I have the option.
And you have to know that you've got your little safe space to duck away into, and I think that's the joy of a new build, isn't it? Deciding where things will go to suit your lifestyle.
I agree.
It's not just the number of bedrooms Marley and David have had customised. The plans show a bunch of other cool features too.
Got this beautiful raking ceiling, and you just have that amazing sense of spaciousness. And 2 massive stacker doors that open all the way across the building.
So here we are in the master bedroom. So the lovely big door there opening out to the sea views. Through here in the ensuite, Marley and David have gone for a door opening out onto the deck so they can get in and out easily from their spa pool.
You know what blows me away is, for a house of this size, how many entry and exit points it has around everywhere.
We're just trying to design the building specifically for the site. So, there's views out there towards the water. Let's put a nice big door there. There's a lovely landscaped area with a spa pool out the back here. Let's put a door there to get to it.
But apparently it's the spare bedroom that has the coolest feature.
We've got this nifty little tilt-away bed against that wall there. You pull it down when your guests come. When you've got no guests, you stick it up against the wall and it becomes sort of a cabinetry, hidden away kind of a wall. Very James Bond.
It's easy to get excited, but James Bond must come at a price. How much is this house going to cost?
By the time this building gets to site, it's probably going to be a $450,000 project. Only real variable is that on-site stuff. We know what the transport cost is going to be because we get that quoted, but piling on site and earthworks and whatnot. So once that's all sorted, the costs are fixed.
It's one thing to see a half-built house in a yard here in Cambridge and imagine its potential as a fantastic waterfront home. What I can't imagine is being 12,000 kilometres away and worrying about getting a house from Cambridge to Waiheke Island. All the other houses that we've been involved with have been existing properties that have moved, and the first thing that strikes you coming in here is how straight everything is for a start, and also the fact that this house is built to move and not the other way around. I'm excited to see where this home is going to end up. And boy, it's somewhere special. It's a waterfront property in Oniroa, where Marley and David's 60-year-old batch still sits. Marley's sister Jan, she's agreed to show me around. We can't ignore that view.
I know.
And Jan, this is a view you're familiar with because you live just up the road.
I do. Literally, as the crow flies, about 200 metres.
Your sister's going to be joining you right here.
Absolutely, and that's been the dream for so long. We've been very close as sisters. We travel a lot together and spend a lot of time with each other.
And so the house behind us is sort of, at the end of its life?
Yeah, it's sad. She's had holidays here. She's just loved it. She's had a chance to be able to see that incredible view and live in it and realise that this is exactly what has been on her dream board all these years.
Yeah.
Really, always wanted to live, being able to look out at the ocean.
So do you know where the house is going to go?
I think it's going to be sited virtually where this one is. They're only going to have to remove that first palm and be able to keep all of the rest of the native trees and the other palms that are there as well.
Jen, I imagine almost no one knows Marley as well as you do. How do you think she's coping being so far away from us?
Her heart is breaking to be here. So what I do for Marley is I bring her to the island. So I've got my phone out and I'm zooming her and I'm showing her what's happening at the house, or I'm showing her the godwits arriving out at sea. I send her photos often of different things that are happening around here. So I think it's the heart connection.
Jan's arranged for us to catch up with Marley and David online today before the batch falls victim to the wrecking ball. Hi, Marley. Hey, nice to meet you, David.
Hi.
Hi.
Marley, we've been lucky enough to have been wandering around your wonderful site and having a look at where this dream is going. It's incredible.
It's sort of bittersweet because we've had the little house going on 8 years now and it's just been a gem, but it just wasn't going to be robust enough for it to last very much longer without having to replace the roof and everything else. So, but it's been a real little sweetheart.
So while this home is clearly on its way out, I'm keen to know why they didn't just build.
David was the practical one around why we chose a transportable rather than an architect design build on-site home. It was the most economical and also efficient way to try and do something like this from a distance, but
And also on the island, which is really expensive to build on.
and complicated because from start to finish, this is going to be about an 8-month project.
It's certainly easy to see that it was definitely going to be quite a bit of work.
It's also really exciting how quickly and how hassle-free the whole thing has been so far. Yeah.
Especially considering where we are.
Yeah.
We're thousands of miles away and still very possible to really make good selections, etc.
Knowing that you sort of pushed and pulled the plans a little bit, is there any aspect that you're just really excited to see in real life?
My bathroom.
You have to understand, sitting in the bath is one of her greatest pleasures in life.
Do you have any apprehension about the home being on the back of a barge and coming across the water?
It still is just really hard to get my head around. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I think it'll be hugely exciting.
Look, it's such a shame that you're not here with us.
This will be the first New Zealand summer that I haven't been back from Canada in 30 years.
Well, and you've got something even more exciting to look forward to when you finally get here.
Yeah, no, can't wait.
I can see why Marley fell in love with this site, and moving a house here is going to be a real adventure. But it might be a journey Marley is happy to miss, with an overnight trip by road and the ocean ahead. With 5 weeks till Marley and David's pre-built home is due on Waiheke Island, the old batch is coming down. Marley's sister Jan is here to witness it all.
I didn't think this was going to feel so bad. It's a shame. You know, they try to keep it.
Jan's got Marley on the line from Canada to share in the moment.
There's a lot of memories.
Oh, for sure.
7 years.
Yeah, well, we've spent a lot of time in there, Marley, haven't we? I feel really sad because it's kind of that destruction. I hate it, just seeing this big claw go in there and rip it up is pretty emotional. Wow.
Builder Pete, who's responsible for managing the site work for Marley, has arrived to check on the demolition progress.
It's hard to believe how quickly we can end up with just the pile of rubble on the ground.
Yeah, after this, the work starts.
Yeah, yes.
Over the next couple of weeks, we expect the septic tank in, the new water tank in the back, and then we'll set up new profiles, get it surveyed, make sure we're in the right spot, and then we'll do the piling. Hopefully we don't find anything underneath that we shouldn't find.
Once all of this is done, it's going to be a really quick process to go from an empty site to having her house all ready to live in. She will arrive back to a brand new house, and that's something she's never ever had, a brand new house before, and it's been her dream, something that she's worked for all her life. What an amazing welcome home it will be.
You know, the exciting thing about building a new house is that, well, you're not inheriting anyone else's taste. You get to make all those decisions yourself. But I can't imagine going through that process when the house that's being built is nearly 12,000 kilometres away, and you have to do it all online.
Just looking at these lights, and I'm thinking I like them better than the ones that we actually
Chose before.
I just think they might be a little more in proportion to the house. So I can ask if it's not too late to change our mind.
But with family support, Marley and David can endeavour to make sure their remote choices are the right ones. Now, with only 3 weeks till the move, I'm meeting Marley's brother Jeff to sign off the work done so far. And so, Jeff, you fit into the picture by being the brother, but also the go-to guy for all of the technical. There's quite a bit on your shoulders, really, isn't there?
There is, yes. Yeah, the girls make good use of that. First step in the new house,
Yeah. First thoughts?
I like it. Very spacious. I think it's looking very nice.
Marley's joining us from Canada. Hopefully she and Jeff are on the same page. Hey, Marley, how are you?
Oh, good, thank you.
The builders have made a beautiful job of the house. Very impressed. Anyways, anything you want to see?
Yes.
Right.
So I wanted to see the kitchen.
What do you think, Marley?
Oh, yeah, good.
We'll go into the master bedroom area.
The blue turned out just like I wanted.
Oh, good.
Oh, and my bathroom, yes. I wanted to see where the louver windows were. Nice.
We'll head up the other end of the house. Beautiful big doors in your lounge area.
So this is where your little bit of ingenuity is going with the big tilt-away bed?
Yes, that's right. And then beside, under the windows, there'll be like 2 sets of drawers with window seats.
Little shower.
That's the second bathroom.
Yes.
That's the wash house, as we used to call it.
Okay.
Getting a much better idea of the size of the rooms this way.
And then the last little section, we go into your...
Yes, scullery.
And a little wine rack for David. Right, that's it.
It looks great because it looks spacious. It's only 114 square metres.
I think you've done a fine job.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeff.
Very much.
Everything looks really nice.
We'll be done in 3 weeks' time, so it'll be ready to be shipped off to Waiheke. And the transport guys are all ready to go. There's a bit of work that needs to be done on site, but once that's all locked down, it is literally the boys come here, they lift it up in the air, it gets put on the trailer, and 10 o'clock at night it rolls out.
I'm delighted for Marley and David that their new home is coming together as planned. Given the vast distance between construction team and client, it all seems remarkably smooth. You know, despite the distance that Marley is away from this whole process, in some respects it's almost bringing the siblings closer together, having them so closely involved in the project because of that, with their brother Jeff and Jan out on the building site. So I really do hope that when Marley finally gets here, her reality that she's seeing now through a computer screen matches up to what she sees in real life. The journey for the new house starts at the Elevate site in Cambridge. Through the night, it'll travel 140 kilometres to Half Moon Bay in Auckland, where it'll park up for a day until it's loaded onto a car ferry and taken 20 kilometres across the ocean highway to Waiheke, with a tricky 5-kilometre trip across the island to finish. The man in charge of getting Marley and David's house up the highway and over the ocean is Troy Etting of Easy Moves.
About 18 years ago, I started Easy Moves, just myself. I was a one-man house moving crew. And we run 3 transporters, we run 2 house moving crews. Doesn't matter how long you do it for, you still get a bit of a buzz for moving from A to B. And everyone's a little bit different, and it's always challenging.
Troy's not surprised Marley and David have opted to relocate a house rather than build.
I think there's about a 4 or 5 year waiting list for builders on the island.
Planning the move with son Connor, it's the Waiheke leg of the trip that needs the most thought.
We can't get an earlier sailing. The earliest they'll give us is 2:30. We're under huge pressure time-wise, and if you get it wrong and you're still on the road at 6 in the morning, obviously you hold all the locals up to get to their ferries. So, yeah, you don't want to go there. And, yeah, obviously, got your normal factors in Waiheke with trees and low power wires. There's certain roads we couldn't even take our truck and trailer empty.
There's no shortage of challenges ahead for the Easy Move crew.
Quite a small island, but those tight roads definitely make it challenging, so should be on site by 5:30, 6 o'clock.
But could high tides and wild weather leave them all at sea? Marley and David were hoping to be back in New Zealand from Canada in time to see their brand new transportable home move to their section on Waiheke Island. Unfortunately, like for so many of us, COVID has thrown Marley a real curveball. She's not able to be back in New Zealand just yet. Thankfully, though, her family is stepping up. Yes, once again, she's got her whānau standing by to get things done. Marley's putting on a brave face, but the news must be devastating. It actually makes me feel a real weight of responsibility helping to get the house to site. And of course, I'm just along for the drive. The people who are really going to have to step up are her siblings, the house builders, and most importantly, the house movers who have to get it up the North Island, across on the ferry, and then that last difficult part of the journey to site on the island. All the fixtures and fittings have been installed in the new home, and it's ready for final sign-off.
Come on in.
Once again, Brother Jeff's volunteered to take Marley around to see the end result.
What do you think?
Wow, can you believe how much has happened since last time you had a look at it?
It's come a long way, yes.
cabinetries in. You've got all your lovely pantry space in there.
That's perfect, just how I wanted the shelves. Yeah, that's good.
And you've got your lovely soft close drawers. You've got your dishwasher in now.
The dishwasher looks smart. And with the black tap, that looks great.
You've got your spotlights in now, Marley.
That looks good.
Come on through to your bedroom too. So there you have your little bed.
That's perfect. And with it up there, then it's my yoga studio.
That's why you've got the mirrored wardrobes there. Come into the ensuite.
Bedroom ensuite.
You got your lovely LED surround mirror, touched on and off.
Ooh,
very
fancy.
very nice. Your laundry.
We've got those special corner cupboards. Wow, that turned out really great.
Come on through here, Marley, to the other side of the house, which houses your master bedroom and ensuite. Got your big sliding doors, so you've got that space again up the top.
That's perfect, yes.
Come into Marley and David's beautiful ensuite.
This is my favorite room.
That's your lovely LED mirror, great for makeup.
I like the way the tiles turned out.
And your lovely bath. I love that spout coming off the side.
You think you'll be able to relax in that?
I can sit and look out at the water.
Do you think I should sign the dotted line for you on your behalf?
You sure can.
Excellent.
Oh, good news.
I'm happy with the inspection. The house looks very smart, and I'm looking forward to spending some nice leisure time up there. It's been interesting with Marley stuck in Canada and myself over here with my sister Jan, but it's worked out very smoothly.
Now Marley has given her tick of approval, the focus shifts to protecting the brand new house for its trip to Waiheke, and there are plenty of obstacles to prep for.
We wrapped the roof completely on the edges of the guttering just to stop trees, obviously, when they're going past on the truck. If they haven't cleared it properly, there is a chance that it could hit a branch and we could rip, all the spouting could come off.
And while the outside gets its protective covering, inside, Kristen is giving Marley's carefully chosen fixtures and fittings a similar treatment. The house still has to look brand spanking new when it arrives at the other end.
We just have to look at everything quite objectively and think, how's it going to move and how's it going to swing? Pendant lights, for example, or your shower stuff, you need to make sure it's all really secure, but not so secure that you can't get into it at the other end.
Anything likely to move is bubble wrapped, taped shut, or wedged in place, ready for bumpy roads or rough seas. It's moving day. The house is protected, wrapped in plywood, ready for its journey. Elevate have made the last-minute decision to stabilise the centre of Marley and David's home before the trip north.
Because we've got these 4 big stacker doors on the outside, which are really heavy, the centre of the building is quite open, so there's room to flex. So just making it as strong and braced as possible.
Better safe than sorry. Marley and David's home is precious cargo. Once it's stabilised, it's jacked up and the almost 50-metre-long truck and trailer rolls in. At 11 p.m, we're set up and easy moves are ready to roll. The forecast isn't great.
No.
What do you think some of the pinch points might be?
We've got a bit of a tight schedule tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just with the sailing and to get there, you know, before 6 o'clock, before everybody tries to get to the ferry to go to work.
No, you don't want to be caught up in that.
No.
We've got around 6 hours to get the house 140 kilometres north to Half Moon Bay. The next night, we'll tackle the Hauraki Gulf to get the house to Waiheke. I've got Marley on the phone to watch the action. They are literally lifting your new home up on the trailer, all ready for the start of our journey. Here she goes, look.
Oh my gosh.
There's the spare bedroom down there. There's your lounge. There's your bedroom down at the end. It looks like they're going to move pretty quickly.
Safe travels. It's after my house.
Take good care of it. As we start our journey towards Auckland, all I can think about is how Marley and David's brand new house is going to look after a bone-jarring drive on the back of a truck. On top of the jolting and shaking, there are any number of possible ways their home might come a cropper. To keep the cargo and us safe, we've got pilot vehicles in front and behind to warn of traffic hazards.
Don't go starting going on the left-hand side.
The beauty of having pilots go ahead is that you can navigate big intersections like that on the wrong side to allow yourself extra room to get out and around. We're soon on the Waikato Expressway, a 93-kilometre stretch of open road between here and the edges of Auckland. We're free of the usual problems like power lines and parked cars, but once we hit high traffic in Auckland, we'll have to get off and take the back roads to Half Moon Bay. Rain's really started, huh? And the visibility gets noticeably worse.
If we haven't got the visibility, we've got to pull over, worst case scenario.
Which doesn't bode well for our 5 a.m. deadline to get to Half Moon Bay. Of course, our drive time is limited tonight. About 6 or 6:30 the cut-off?
Pretty much 6 o'clock. We'd like to be off the road by 5 o'clock in Auckland.
Yep.
Traffic's starting to get, pretty busy.
Yeah. Then word comes in from one of our pilots.
Just find a place out there, mate, to pull over.
Something's come loose.
Okay. Something's come loose on the load. Worst case, it's a piece of Marley and David's home.
Dunnage fell out.
Dunnage is truckers speak for packaging. It's there to protect the house during transport.
You all good?
It's nothing serious, but with a curfew that forces us off the road in about 3 hours, it's time that we can't afford. Just small things can add up quite quickly and have this big ripple effect downstream. We have to be off the road here by 5 o'clock at the latest in Auckland. Otherwise, traffic starts to build and you end up just coming to a complete standstill. It's now 2 in the morning. We're at the start of the Bombay Hills. We've still got a long way to go. We're hoping for a break, but the weather's not on our side. If we caused an incident north of here, we'd risk shutting down rush hour motorway traffic. So at Raumarama, our permitted route takes us off State Highway 1 and onto the slower back roads of South Auckland. Well, that weather's well and truly arrived.
Yeah.
As we reach Papakura, word comes in that the southern motorway has been closed and traffic diverted down Great South Road towards us. With a house this wide, we take up both sides of the road in places, so the pilots need to be extra vigilant. With the motorway closed, it diverts the traffic off and it
comes onto our road.
Yep. Oh, wow, suits cars.
Troy, right in there, Troy. Right there, mate.
There's nothing worse than heavy traffic on a tight deadline.
No, one out of the way.
These diversions are a real headache, but nothing compared to what we might face tomorrow night if the bad weather whips the waves up.
And one camper van parked up on the right before the bridge.
And if it's not traffic, it's roadworks. Every light we hit seems red. At 4 a.m, we're still a good 20 k's from Half Moon Bay. There are no guarantees we're going to make it. Then word comes in from the pilot up ahead.
Picked up hatchback, Auckland after that one.
The Auckland traffic has thinned out.
All good.
We're away.
We pull into Half Moon Bay bang on 5 a.m. We're catching the car ferry late tonight after a bit of a sleep today, but the crew are dealing with an issue that might mean we won't be hitting the high seas anytime soon.
The issue is the height on the sides of the barge doors are higher than they can currently lift the house. So what they're going to do is lift it right up, bring the steel jacks in, put them in place, lower it down, then attach to the deck of the trailer and then lower the house onto it so that the house will be nice and high just for the sole purpose of being able to get onto the barge.
By 5:30 a.m, the house is ready for the journey across the water when we get back tonight.
Well, regular users of this car park are going to be in for quite a surprise in just a couple of hours when they discover that there is in fact a house sitting here. Hopefully for just one day though. Tonight we're back and we're going to do it all again. But the weather forecast is for conditions to deteriorate even further, so we're in for a wild wet night.
And maybe a rough crossing. After sleeping through the day, at 10:30 p.m, we're back harbourside. And Marley and David's house is being prepped for its 20-kilometre ocean crossing. To me, this seems like the riskiest part of the trip. A house, on top of a truck, on top of a boat, in the middle of the night. It sounds like a nautical mishap in the making. Oh, right on cue, the rain has started. And you can already see the first obstacle of the evening behind me. Now, this is the reason that we spent time jacking up the house last night. And it was to get over this, the bow of the ferry. We've already had the handrails removed to bring the height down a bit, but we're gonna have to jack the house right up and over before we can even begin. With the extra bracing, hydraulic pistons on the trailer lift Marley and David's home a precarious 4 metres up in the air. I'm no scientist, but the laws of physics and balance don't seem to be in Easy Move's favour. As Troy carefully backs the home in, I'm worried maximum lift makes this load really top-heavy.
It's one of those moments where you don't know if the owners should be here or not to see their precious pride and joy so delicately being balanced onto a ferry. It's just a game of centimetres at this stage.
The ferry usually carries smaller vehicles to the island, so it's not built for this kind of load. But the house makes it safely aboard. Now it just has to survive the crossing. Despite the wind and rain, the sea is comparatively calm, and Troy's already thinking ahead.
Pressure's on to get the site before we hold all the commuters up in Waiheke.
Well, that's a very good point. I mean, it's nearly 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get that sort of morning rush starting from about 5. It doesn't allow for much time once we get there.
No, so we haven't got far to go, so we should be all right as long as we don't have any issues.
Right. Have you driven the route?
Yeah. So we were on the island last week and through, I think, and
Okay.
We've got a couple of pinch points and
It's almost 4 a.m. by the time we reach Kennedy Bay Wharf. It was an unusual crossing, but not one where we ever felt in danger of going down with a ship. And that will reassure Jan, who's waiting with Marley on the phone to welcome her new home onto the island.
Oh no. There it comes. Look how many wheels. It's like a big 747.
Jan, hi, hey, how you going?
Good to see you.
You too.
Oh gosh, isn't that just unbelievable? Oh.
There it goes. And were you just talking to Marley?
Clark's here too.
Hey, Marley. How you going?
Oh, it's amazing. I just can't believe it.
We've got actually a very short window now because basically we need to be off the road in an hour or so. So the guys are going to be racing to get up to your site with the new home.
Local traffic will soon start arriving for the ferry. If we cross paths on these roads, there's nowhere to pull over. So with time of the essence, we're off, with me riding shotgun. But we barely make it out of the car park before protected native trees start closing in on us.
You can see why it's so important that Marley and David's home was wrapped up in ply because these trees would do all sorts of damage.
To stop the branches scraping the roof and walls of the house, we have to stick as close as we can to the middle of the narrow road. This means individually lifting the truck's 12 wheels over the traffic island and inching forward as each tyre clears it.
Yeah, good luck there. Yeah.
The mechanics of this technology still amazes me, as the wheels dance forwards and sideways to manoeuvre the house through.
First axle's going to come up the second half of the island. Yeah, creep forward about there, yeah. Looking good, looking good. Keep going. Still good up top on the trees, left side. Yeah, creep forward about there, yeah. Yeah, clear now. Steer around, Joy. Get it where you want it.
With the trees and traffic islands cleared, we come across power lines.
Down to 300. Looking good, Troy. Dead straight. You're right, mate.
And parked cars.
See you. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. Perfect.
Thanks to Troy and his team, we get under and over them. David and Marley's home was designed to be transported, and Easy Moves mapped the route so we get to the turnoff without further drama. But this is where it gets really tricky. Between trees, playground, and the angle required to position the house on the site, this will be tight.
300 on the left.
Seeing Jan here with Marley watching online makes me pretty nervous for Troy and his crew.
I hope they measured well between the lamppost and the swings. I'm really worried about the corner where the sandpit is.
Keep going straight back. Straight back. Then you're in behind. Left hand is up. Yeah, come back a bit like that. Yeah, you're good, mate. Behind.
Holy mackerel, I'm getting nervous. It's like watching a horror movie.
We're only 20 metres away from their site, but it's not as easy as just backing in and plonking the house down.
He's trying to get past the Pahuta Kawa tree.
Maybe I should take my blood pressure.
A pahurakawa on Marley's property is the final barrier. Given there's still a lot of manoeuvring to be done, Troy decides to wait till sunup to finish the move. They drop it off into blocks, pull the trailer out and put it at a right angle, come back in right on the balance point, lift it up, and then shove the whole lot back and drop it down into its final destination. When daylight arrives, the crew get busy. Using long steel beams for support, they reposition Marley and David's home sideways across the trailer, ready to edge it around the pahurakawa and into position. So even though here you can see how they've moved the trailer 90 degrees to allow them to bring the house around, we're at the absolute limits of space. Pahurakawa tree just poking around the side, the other tree over the other side hard up against the house. And the manoeuvrability all comes down to the independent nature of these tyres and the way they can turn and manipulate that trailer around to finally arrive on site. Slowly but surely, dozens of small back and forth manoeuvres avoid the soft ground and inch the house around into place.
Change your brakes, Greg. Set your chuck in, hard left, and then push it forward right.
It's feeling pretty real now.
Push it forward hard right. Set your chuck in, hard left. Yeah, suck it in left, Greg.
It takes over an hour, but finally, the crew wriggle Marley and David's home past the trees.
Woo!
Push it forward right. Yeah, change your brakes.
I'm just loving my house.
With the truck out from under the house, it can be lowered down onto its piles. You know, after months of planning and years of dreaming, Marley's home is home. Oh, well, that has been a very long night. It's been a very long move. Although I suppose, in the scheme of getting a new home, it's quite a condensed, short period of time. We now have a new home on site. We just need to add owners. Although in this case, unfortunately, I think it's going to be quite a while before they get to see it. So Jan's giving Marley a preview so she can feel a bit closer to home.
You're in the house.
I'm in the house. Oh my gosh.
Is it beautiful?
It's absolutely gorgeous, Marley.
Oh, I'm tearing up now.
All beautiful. I can just see you and David making some very happy memories here with all the family.
Okay, sweetie, I'll talk to you later.
I really feel for Marley, who's had to watch the whole process from the other side of the world. I hope she's going to be able to come home soon to see it. And when she does, that it's everything she wants it to be. It's been almost 7 months since Marley and David's transportable home was moved to Waiheke Island. The good news is Marley has finally made it back to New Zealand and is able to see her home for the first time. The bad news is now Auckland's in lockdown. And sadly, I'm stuck here in Wellington, so I can't be there with her. After nearly a year of waiting, that long journey home, 2 weeks in isolation, today's going to be a very emotional day, not just for Marley, but of course her sister Jan as well, who's done so much of the work in her absence. And when Marley does finally get off that boat and see her home for the very first time, I am genuinely disappointed that I'm not going to be there to share in her excitement. So while I'm stuck watching from behind a computer screen on a classic overcast Wellington day, Auckland's turned on a stunner to welcome Marley home. And after spending 2 weeks in a hotel room in isolation, setting foot on Waiheke and being welcomed by Jan will no doubt feel like paradise.
She's really, really excited. We both have been texting back and forward and just feeling quite surreal that it really is finally happening. Yeah, I can see her waving. Oh gosh, I'd better get round there.
Oh, it's amazing. Quite overwhelmed. Got on that ferry and then I really felt like I'm home. And the amazing thing is, I think this time it'll be for good.
Knowing Marley has been dreaming of this moment for almost 20 years, I just can't wait to see her reaction when she sees her new home.
Oh, wow. The photos didn't do it justice. It just looks so much more impressive. So happy it's indescribable. 2005, bought the land. It was, what, 16 years later, finally.
The old home held plenty of memories, but Marley and David's new house is all about what's to come.
This is just perfect. This is going to be my forever home now. can't believe it. Beautiful. This is just like so how we imagined it. Well, hello, Clark.
Hi, Marley, how are you?
I've been so excited. It's unbelievable.
Is it everything you imagined it would be?
It just blew me away. It's just what we were hoping it would look like on the section. The work and the attention to all the details, and it's just amazing.
All right, Marley, are you able to show me around a little bit?
Okay, now here we go. This is it from the street.
Oh, that is lovely, isn't it?
This is coming up the front deck. The decks are just as we imagined, and I love the steps.
Fantastic. So nice.
Now I'm going to walk through the house. I have a dining table, and that's the sum total of the furniture.
Lots of places in the lounge for your yoga mat.
Yes, absolutely. The kitchen will have 4 bar stools. Then I've got dining chairs coming for the dining table area. There will be a lounge suite.
Marley, I mean, I remember when we were walking through when your house just had a floor down and all of these areas were marked out, and it's just remarkable to see it now.
Yes, absolutely. Then, so going towards a master bedroom, the Pahutakawa tree is just such a feature.
I remember the Putakawa tree well and trying to get in and around without damaging it too much.
Yeah, but it was worth it. And then, obviously, my bathroom, and then straight out to the palm trees.
Wow, that looks great. Do you have a bed to sleep on?
Yes, so that was really fortuitous that we built the hideaway bed. I'll show you the view from the back. There's my fancy garden boxes, and you see Jan's already planted a veggie garden for me, but everything just fits perfectly where the trees are.
Great. Look at that. It's exactly as you envisaged it.
Even better.
So, Marley, now as the dust settles, has the price that you've paid, how does that compare to your budget?
Well, I think it makes us very happy. We chose the transportable option. The other aspects of getting the house settled on the property, new tank, new septic system, finished up costing more than what we'd budgeted for. And really, I felt safe and confident and excited about it, even though there were some challenges. It may have even been easier than being on the spot. And it was certainly worth waiting for.
Marley and David spent $500,000 on the build and relocation, not including the landscaping and new garage. And of course, you can't put a price on happiness. It's so nice to see you so happy. And hopefully when David and the rest of your family comes down, well, then everything will be complete.
It just feels so good to be home. This is a dream come true. You know, I'd sit and doodled house plans and how I'd like to live in a house which was mostly glass, where the ocean felt like I was right there. It's just, it's hard to believe it's actually happened.
Marley's dream of living in a Waiheke Island home could have been so easily sunk by COVID, by lockdown, by living half a world away. But thanks to family, well, she's here, and she's now living in a home that she so meticulously planned without ever having set foot in it. And with summer on the way, wow, I can't wait to join her on the beach and maybe help toast the realisation of her island dream home.
Here you go, see? Being home.